Hi, I'm Josh from FinalScanPro. In this video, we're going to look at the MLA referencing style. MLA stands for the Modern Language Association, and it's most commonly used in the field of humanities. MLA uses an author page number system for citations. Let's take a look at some examples. In this example, we're saying that regular physical activity improves mental health. This idea comes from a paper by Emma Clark, and it appears on pages 6 to 7. In MLA style, you place the author's surname and the page numbers in brackets at the end of the sentence. Another option is to blend the citation into text. For example, you might say, Clark argues that regular physical activity improves mental health, and then add the page numbers in brackets at the end. When you use this format, the author's name stays outside the brackets, and only the page numbers go inside. If you don't know the page number, or if the source doesn't include page numbers, you can leave the page number out of the citation. If a source has two authors, include both surnames followed by the page numbers. For example, Clark and Brown 6 to 7. If the source has 3 or more authors, use the first author's surname followed by et al., which means and others. For example, Clark et al. 6 to 7. If you want to cite more than one source at the same point, separate each citation with a semicolon. In this example, we're citing 3 different papers in one place, so each citation is separated by a semicolon. If you're citing multiple works by the same author, you need a way to tell them apart. In MLA style, you do this by adding a short version of the title to the citation. In this example, we have 2 publications by the same author, Robert. To differentiate them, we include a short title in the citation, Virtual Spaces, and Teaching Online. This makes it clear which source you're referring to. If you're citing works by different authors who share the same surname, you can tell them apart by adding the author's initial before the surname. If the authors also share the same initial, simply use the full first name to avoid any confusion. If you're using a direct word-for-word quote from a paper, you must place the text inside double quotation marks. In MLA style, direct quotes also need the page number at the end of the citation. Sometimes you will come across an idea or finding that's mentioned in another source, but you can't access the original material yourself. This is called a secondary reference. In this case, you cite the source you actually read, and you mention the original author in the text. For example, Patel's 2020 book discusses findings from a study by Green, published in 2012. You mention Green in the text, but since you didn't read Green's original study, only Patel's work appears in the reference list. It's important to remember that secondary referencing should only be used when the original text is genuinely unavailable. When you're citing AI tools like ChatGPT, it's generally best to treat them like an online source. When including ChatGPT in the reference list, the organization behind the tool, OpenAI, is treated as the author, and ChatGPT website is treated as an online source. If you're referring to a specific prompt, describe the prompt clearly in the reference. If available, include a shareable link as well. Some universities recommend citing ChatGPT as a personal communication instead. If that's the case, your in-text citation might look like this. In most cases, personal communications are not included in the reference list unless your institution specifically asks for it. Because guidance on citing AI tools can vary, always check your university's official referencing guidelines before submitting your work. At the end of your document, you must include a bibliography or reference list titled Works Cited. Here's an example of a reference list formatted in MLA style. This list should be double-spaced and include all the sources you cited in your text, arranged alphabetically by the author's last name. We highly recommend using reference management software to format your bibliography. It saves time and helps keep your references consistent. I hope you found the video useful. Finally, before submitting your work, don't forget to run it through FinalScanPro. Just drag and drop your document and let FinalScanPro check it for you. You'll receive a Turnitin style similarity report with all issues clearly highlighted and colour-coded. You'll also get a revision report with suggestions to fix the issues quickly. Apply the recommended changes, recheck if needed, and you'll have a clean, original paper ready to submit. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please drop a message below. Bye for now.